Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Remnant from the Ashes here at MurrOtter. I'm Matt, and we are back here in Ward 13 to see what we can do with our boss souls. I actually did a little bit of running around to save you some time from having to watch that before. There are no new mods being sold by McCabe. I just want to show you that here. She still sells her Mantle of Thorns and just the two other starting items. The starting
You're done here?
mods that you would get as the other two classes. Then you go to McCabe. Seems like he just sells you still your basic other weapons. I don't think any of these, yeah, none of these are necessarily from the boss weapons. So you could buy some other armor if that interested you. And you could mod what you have here, but still nothing to be done with the boss weapons just yet. I think I'm going to continue to put some upgrades into the repeater, which cost me all the iron that I had.
Be safe.
And I already bought the full stack out of the woman across the way. So I think that's going to be it for our upgrades for now, and that's okay. Hopefully we'll learn more about what to do with the boss weapons later. If any of you know, please go ahead and let me know in the comments. Happy to partake in the boss weapon upgrades. So we're going to travel. Is the Wailing... Yeah, the Wailing Wood. I guess this is our next destination. It's cool that you can go back to the one that you had just come from or be specific about going to the beginning of a level. Oop. Okay. So this is where we left off. We came out of the subway after beating Gorefist. And this is where they put us. Trying to untangle my headphones there. Okay. So our new direction is over here to the left. I believe we already explored everything here. We opened the shortcut. That takes you back to the original starting area for the previous area. So, here we are. I do like that you seem to be able to see your modifications. Like, this is definitely not the revolver I initially bought. Can't jump down there into this hellhole. But it does look like something's trying to sneak in from another world here. I'll tell you, it said incoherent tree language, and I would say that is a fairly accurate description. Feels like a big open area, so I'm going to go ahead and assume we got baddies coming our way. Totally fine. Oh god, him again. The question when you approach these folks is like one of how can I get away with as little BS as possible. So far, I think we're managing. Oh, we hit each other at exactly the same time. I'll kill you. You have the moveset of the boss I just fought, you little bee. Those iframes, we got that mod or item that let us increase our iframes, so trying to capitalize on that and put them to use. It's a part of the game design. It is a Souls-like after all. Okay, so down here it looks like we're gonna have a way up. I'd like to see what that is before going back, but I do want to exhaust all directions first. Again, I think we've mentioned so far in the previous 4 episodes that there haven't been a ton of opportunities or rewards for your exploration, but they also have not been non-existent. So I just want to make sure we look down every nook and cranny. As soon as they give me like one worthwhile item down in one of these corridors, I'll stop complaining about it as much. But for right now, I am a little bit disappointed. What does square do? Reload. I was just trying to think if I want to redo the controls. See, like, there's an item. Assume that was technically being guarded by the big bad I just killed. I ain't scared of it. What do we have here? Ah, Tome of Knowledge. Which reminds me, we should probably make sure that we're taking advantage of that. We have 4 trait points available. So I mentioned I would alternate between Elder Knowledge. So I'm going to put 2 into that. Mod power. I mean, I guess maybe it speeds up what you get out of your mods. I'll do that. Try to keep things balanced. I'm not sure like what kind of traits are going to come for us in the future. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm not like over-investing in something that I'm going to eventually find. Still don't like the ground spawn.
Who's next?
I'm all for an ambush, but I'd like it to make like geographic sense. Alright, run low on ammo, so I'd like to be a little bit more careful about trying to use melees. I will say the combat in this game is starting to feel pretty good. Alright, this is an enemy I can definitely just melee. I should also put some money into investing. What in the world was that? Into investing my melee weapon. Because it's hopefully going to be the item I use the most. I do like that the enemies stagger a decent amount as well, because it doesn't feel very good. That was kind of something I felt a lot throughout my playthrough of Dark Souls, is it was kind of tough to stagger enemies. And a lot of like Souls-likes that are especially aren't AAA, that's like the kind of details I feel like that can slip through the cracks sometimes, where the way combat feels kind of falls to the wayside. I just want to exhaust all directions before pushing forward. I heard some sliminess. Just want to make sure we're all good here. Ooh, I can probably go inside this house here. This feels like something they might reward you for. Now, one thing I'm not... There's a door. One thing I'm not completely clear on, full disclosure, is how the randomly generated levels work. Man, he did not hear me coming. I'm a little bit unclear about, like, if you're playing the game right now, you have to let me know in the comments, but, like, are you going to the same boss, same areas? Are the areas the same, but in different orders? Is the layout of an area slightly different? Do they, like, drag and drop different components? I'm just not exactly clear on kind of what the play experience differs as from one time to another. But I do know if I continue to enjoy the game to the degree that I am so far right now, it's just something where I'll probably hop back in when I'm not on a on a video and play it on my own. I mean, sure, it's possible I'll keep playing it on video, especially if you guys are enjoying it as much as I am. But if not, if it's run its course, by all means, I'll go solo. Good excuse to play back through it. Plus, the idea of a Souls-like game that actually gets different each time you play it, I mean, that is an attractive proposition to me, personally. I'd really like to be rewarded for all this exploration. I've made someone mad, it sounds like, though. Yep. I've discovered who. Stop that. Once again, the ability to kind of stagger them with attacks. Best offense is a good defense kind of situation. Oh, one thing somebody pointed out to me that could make this game kind of annoying to watch is the camera bob. And so if that's been bothering you, by all means, I'd like to turn that off. I'm trying to make anyone throw up here. You have to let me know how you feel about camera bob, but my friend Brandon, who used to do the Splat Panda channel with me, pointed that out, and I was like, you know what, dude? I never thought about it, because when you play, it doesn't really bother you as much, but when you're just watching and kind of like boingy, 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 I could definitely see where that would get annoying as all get out. Alright, there was some reward. I mean, finding those chests that have tons of iron, I mean, that is a commodity. I'm starting to see why that feels like a valuable pickup. Just because I didn't realize that in addition to money, you would need that the upgrade materials. So, excuse the cough. There's a purple down a hallway, or a corridor. What is it? Is that a tome too? No, that's a sage stone. Before I fuck with that... Oh, fuck. I was going to say, I need to make sure nobody's coming for me. They sure as hell were, though. Alright. Man, you know... Every play session with this game, it starts to feel better and better, and it honestly has no business being as good as it is. I mean, like, not that I didn't think it could be this good. I don't mean it to sound like that, but increases earn experience by 15%. Very good. It's just that it came out of nowhere for me, to be perfectly honest. I think I heard something about it very briefly, but there was a game called Immortal Unchained, which was another Souls-like shooter that supposedly really was bad, and I think that kind of soured my taste for that potential genre. So when this came along, I thought, oh, okay, like maybe it was already in development, whatever. But is it a copycat of a game that didn't do well? So that will help temper expectations, which I have to admit has led to a pretty pleasant surprise. One question I have: we did find an exit at one point, and we didn't use it. And I've pressed pretty far this direction now. The question is twofold. One, should I turn back and see what's down there before pressing on? But furthermore, before going down like a yellow... This looks like Grand Central or something. I guess we don't know what city we're in. Nope, can't get up there. I guess we don't know what city we're in, but... sorry, I tried to continue. Thought that I already finished. This is actually a very good time for Bloodwort. But I'm not going to do it. My question was... Okay, so here's the other one. We now have two directions. If I go into one of these, when I come back out, will the enemies that I've killed be gone? Now, my thought process is this. If I go in here and I die, the other exit is further back. Or excuse me, so closer to where I spawn, so it's less of a trek. So I'd rather go into this now while all of the enemies between where I began and where I'm going are cleared. I don't want to rest at the checkpoint, I just want to get it. Is that a possibility? I don't want to use it. So I'm not going down yet. I want to do an experiment. I want to go back up and see what happens in the sewer grate that we saw back there. Okay. Fingers crossed that the enemies aren't back. We did not rest, mind you. So far, so good. Okay. Seems like they're true to their word. Well, come along on a trek with me, and in the meantime, I'll tell you a story as I go over to pick up, assume, more Bloodwort. I think green is just like consumables, whether they're healing items or can cure ailments, or status ailments, I should say, specifically. But anyway, we'll just go back, see what's down the other exit. Again, not clear about the skulls. I assume that's always going to be the direction of a boss. So far, a little bit of monotony in the open levels, but there's a lot of potential with all this talk of like world traveling and going through like mystical gates and things like that. So I imagine this won't always be the setting. I do hope we're not always just going like through city streets, fight a boss, through city streets, fight a boss, so on and so forth. But I don't get the impression that that will be the case either. I'm just putting it out there right now, though. That would be a bit of a hindrance for me. Did I look at the... Is this where I looked at the upper floor? Or is that over there? I think it was in here. Yeah, it shows up as explored. Now, that subway grate was maybe this way? Is there a way to look at the map? Yeah, there it is. Let the stamina recover. Now, this post-apocalyptic world, why doesn't any of my friends in Ward 13 come with me? Right as I say that, I remember that this game is technically able to be co-op. I believe you can play in parties of up to 3. Obviously, that leads to some interesting like group dynamics and synergies as far as your group picking mods and dusts that you can drop on the ground and whatnot. Oh, an NPC.
Best step away, stranger. Unless you want to sword. Right as rain. Just afflicted with life in this hellhole is all. Here. Don't mind leaving my effects behind if I... Mind your feet, though. Traps. Now get...
There's root rot in here. Oh my god, look at my health. The hunter's hideout. So I could use this checkpoint. I'm curious if the other checkpoint is still active, though. Oh, shit, man. I'm not going to use this because, again, it's closer to where I've already been. Fuck. But my health. We're going to heal, because no matter what, I'm going to end up at a checkpoint. I'm going back. We're going to see what's in the further checkpoint. But I would like to find out what's going on there. I'll just say this. I'm a little worried about how travel works and that I'm going to get punished for this. I wish if you found a checkpoint you could easily zap back to that location. But at the same time, there was an element of like Dark Souls letting you, run back and forth through the world. What is happening to the sky back there? There's just some really trippy skyboxes or horribly rendered trees in the distance on that far up sky. But that's okay. Anyway, it's not a great feeling like of, okay, I found 2 entrances. Both are sort of relatively far from one another. And yet, I'm not sure if I can even use them for travel purposes. It's just like, I'm always going to have to get from one to the other. Now, perhaps I could come out and just run. I don't think maybe I would have to fight that much to get from one of these to another. But it's not a risk I'm necessarily wanting to have to take if I don't have to. So, we'll go back to this checkpoint. We're going to rest, get our items back. I'm not sure how much we have, 923. We did get a lot of iron, so maybe we'll go back to the base and level up. Maybe not. You don't really lose anything if you die. So that is a gameplay consideration that is different from the Souls series. You don't necessarily have to decide right away, at least, what you want to do with your currency, and it leads to like less back and forth. Like, for all intents and purposes, sort of like save scumming, but in the context of like cashing in your souls. The root rot almost gone after running across half the map. An ancient core, the anointed Veer, were created to be perfect soldiers, living in constructs that could fight, survive, and ultimately something. Alright, what's in here? I'm going to rest. There's no reason not to rest. I don't think I'm going to go back yet. I'll do that at the end of the episode. Actually, what was in the travel options? What does post-apocalyptic AAA have to say for us here? We can go to the ward. Yeah, that's it. Maybe the bigger crystals offer you sort of more dynamic choices, but we definitely can't go from crystal to crystal. Whether or not we can go back in the ward through to different areas or not, I don't know. And perhaps this all connects underground. We are now in the chapel station, and these mushrooms taking over are offering a very cool, different perspective. I'm hoping this has a different feel, though, to the sewers we were in the last episode. Now, this is the first time I've been able to see an enemy who might drop from the ceiling. Now, I'm not saying that they weren't there in other instances, but I've complained in the past that enemies sort of spawn from nowhere. If it's the case that you can kill them before they can attack you, I'm instantly going to forgive that. If that is always the case, if you are always observant enough that you can get yourself out of more difficult encounters and or ambushes, I appreciate that. Now, I see R trains. Is this supposed to be New York? Nothing about it has felt that way. But I also wasn't in New York in the 60s and 70s. I would like, again, more enemy variety, but Now that one came out. That was an old school complaint. Okay, he caught himself on fire, to be fair. Alright, there's a lot.
Stay down! Trouble.
I got killed. I got way too cocky there, trying to conserve ammo. I'm gonna get my mouse out of the screen. I really hope that hasn't been there the whole time. Apologies if so. Fortunately, that's not much of a reset for us. But it does tell me that I want to conserve ammo where possible. Now, I noticed in the prep for a previous episode, shit, I wasn't spawned. So, getting up to about here is the trigger. But that does mean I can kill this one using just my melee weapon, which is the next thing I want to upgrade. 4 hits to kill a basic enemy is not ideal. I wasn't sure if doing any damage or getting close at all was going to cause death there. It did not. More iron. What do we have?
Get!
Come on. Yeah, more melee power is going to be helpful in ammo conservation because that is a risky bit of a dice roll right now. Critical. So that was a red bit of damage. Cool.
Bastard.
I feel like we've got a nice mix of ammo usage happening right now, so we don't run out of any one thing. What the heck, man? Now, I will want to make sure I get a mod on that. Oh, fuck. I really hate those. Dude, this is actually awful.
That's all you got.
Where is it? I'm gonna die. Oh! This room's tough. It's full. Okay. Gotta sit up in my seat for this one, ladies and gents. Again, getting hit from behind, a little bit blind in some cases, but not as salty about it as I could be. I'm actually gonna intentionally drop these. This does make me feel like this is the first room where I've had the feeling of like, are my weapons powered up enough? Alright, we got a trait point. What do we got? Shit, I got stuck. Okay. Okay. Now I think I'm due for the Necromancer, who I think I'm going to try to prioritize first.
Ooh, that was rough.
Only because I don't know if she continues to summon or what, but maybe she won't come back until I press the other direction, which is fine. As soon as I see her, though, I'm going to drink. I just don't like to waste a consumable. If you can properly transfer from one enemy to another with your melees, you can tend to be okay. Is that a second person from behind me? Nope. Okay. Just the effects of a swing. Ran out of stamina there.
That was rough.
Stamina management, always a concern. I am going to pop my consumable. They're like 50 experience to buy at this point. I don't know if that price will go up, but I certainly don't like the look of that. That dead zone is ensuring I can't hit this. Okay, close the barrel.
How's that? You bastard.
Oh, that applied the burn effect.
Damn it!
Where'd he go? God, sometimes the controls. What was that? No! Tell me something else didn't spawn in there with me. Oh, that would make me real mad. No, I don't need to rest. We don't need to rest. We can get through this. It shouldn't be as difficult as it even has been, honestly.
Okay, this is it!
You gonna come down, dude? I sure as shit I'm not gonna wait for him to bug out and drop when I'm dealing with all those other enemies, so. Okay, so there is that if the Necromancer comes again. I'm gonna try to go this way without summoning a million enemies. I'm just gonna deal with this room first. Can I walk up this, by the way? No. Bandit did not come. I will say there's no reason, I guess, not to put my trait points in. I'd like to get more endurance. Strength is my usual MO, so it's a little bit difficult not having that. Ooh, and the exploding floor is gone. Replaced with an exploding enemy. And we don't know where Big Daddy is, because again, enemy areas seem to be randomized as well on respawns. Which does make it fun that you can't just memorize like a specific like layout. You can know the room layout and you can know where your cover is, but you can't necessarily know like who's going to be where and the perfect way to run through. Curious how speedrunners will like this game, or if they will at all. I don't know if speedrunners simply like to do the memorization, or if they like would find a thrill in the idea of like an ever-changing game that still has a definitive beginning and end. Ooh, okay, checkpoint. Have we made a circle or no? So we're probably about ready for a boss fight. I'm going to go back for upgrades because I've got a couple questions. One, what will happen when I go back and I try to go to that other subway entrance? And two, what will happen after that next checkpoint? Feels like a little bit of lost area, but I think that's where we're going to go ahead and end this episode. We've been at about a half hour, so let's go ahead and do that now. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please go ahead and hit the like button. It helps out a lot. I hope you're enjoying Remnant. Let me know what your playthrough is looking like. Have you had the same layout, different bosses? How's it been going for you? You find it easy? What's your class? All that kind of stuff. Would love to hear that in the comments. And lastly, if you want to see more, hit subscribe. We hope to see you in the future. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.